lights on this from now on. This looks good. Ndewono. Hey, Phoenix. Ndewo. Yes, you are. Udo, udo, udo. Who is all in the house? We got three people here. As always, this is Derek O'Fodder. Oh, I have to get something. Hold on. Ulama. Have you seen my little bell? My little bell on mine? All I keep saying is I'm trying to go out. All right, I guess that's not gonna happen. Ndewo, everybody. I'm gonna start playing music to get us started. I was just listening to a song. Hold on, we already got 5 people in here. Once we get to 15, I'll go ahead and get started. Oh, Fred, Ndewo, how you doing? Ndewo, this is stay straight. I don't know what's going on. Ndewo, Celeste. Hey, we got a birthday in the house.
US Cellular has a new deal we don't want
birthday
you to miss.
person, I
Get
can't
the new
read your
Samsung
name.
Galaxy S25
Type your name in the
Plus
chat.
on us.
Oh, I love that.
We got a birthday in the house. What up, chat? What up, chat? I'm gonna start sounding like Kai Cenat. Chat, should I play some music? All right, so we're gonna begin once we get 15 people in here. Scott, happy birthday. There was Scott, happy birthday. Scott, I feel like this is not your first time in here. I feel like this is not your first time in here. Scott, you get though? You got it. Nke ọbụla itiri aka ọ ga-adị n'ụwa ọ ga-adị otu a na-eke n'orie n'afọ na nkwọ ise. All right, Scott, put your hands out. Put your hands out. I'm gonna bless your hands. Put your hands out like this. Chat, should I bless his hands? Chat, should I bless his hands? Put your hands out. Let me know when the hands are out. All right, Scott, as I said, since it's your birthday, you got it. Ị ga-eto nke ọbụla itiri aka ọ ga-adị n'ụwa ọ ga-adị otu a na-eke n'orie n'afọ na nkwọ ise. All right, that's my gift to you. Bless them. Oh. I'm gonna start calling you guys chat. That was fun. I bought a bell and my daughter ran away with it, but I was gonna use the bell to while out today. And I think my daughter ran away with my damn bell. This is ridiculous. B, why are you retracting messages? What did you just say? Okay, maybe say something crazy. Phoenix, remember, if we're blocking homophobia, racism, sexism, anything else, it's whatever. They say something goofy, it's fine. Bless them. Okay, yeah, we're gonna begin once we get 15 people. My name is Derek O'Fodder with the Medicine Shell. Guys, how's the music working? Is it too much? Let me know. I'm trying new things. So I'm going to let you guys know what the cola said to me today. Good. So as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. My name is Derek. If you're new, my name is Derek O'Fodder with the Medicine Shell. I teach Igbo spirituality, cosmology, and culture known as Odinala. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. The best way to support the movement and to join the movement is to sign up at patreon.com/the medicine show. I'm actually going to type it. Can I type? Phoenix, are you able to type things and pin it? Because I don't think I can. Okay, I'll do them. The music brings feelings of happiness. Good. It's working. That means it's working. Chat, y'all like the music? Oh, man. I believe both of us can. Yeah, I'm looking for mine. Okay, I can't find it. So, can you type patreon.com/the medicine show and pin it to the top, okay? So anybody that signs up for Patreon, you get full access to my research library. over 300 books, articles, everything you can think of. I update it, if not monthly, then weekly. I'm always adding stuff to it, right? As I read and as I gain more knowledge and as I encounter more things. I recently added some excerpts from this book right here. This is called The Water Goddess in Igbo Cosmology. This is one of the best books covering Odinala you can imagine. And what's nice about it is for me, is it covers a region very close to my own home. So a lot of these traditions are super familiar. A lot of the images, like it's damn near a book of photography. Like the stuff you see in here is super cool, right? So I always give, anyways, I have excerpts in here in the Nemiri folder for those who are interested. Hey, we've passed 15 people. He said, all right, let's go ahead and begin. Oh, I can't pin. Okay, maybe I think I can pin. Okay, I can pin. Phoenix, thank you very much for that. That's patreon.com/the medicine show. You may have settings that don't allow me to type hyperlinks too. Oh, okay. Anyways, you guys should know what a hyperlink is. Huh? You know where to find me, damn it. All right, let me go ahead and begin. Oh, Celestin, you know what's interesting? Right when I said, let me go ahead and begin, the music naturally faded to a halt. So we are here. All right, let's begin. Okike Keroa. Ala wala. Ala nne mmadụ na nne mmụọ. Ala na-enye ndụ na-enye nke ọma dị n'ụwa. Ụmụ gị abịala. Eji m obiọma na-ekele ụmụ ndị eke, ndị orie, ndị afọ na ndị nkwọ. Obiọma na-ekele ndị mbụ na ndị egede, ndị mmadụ na ndị mmụọ. Ọwụ obiọma ka m ji na-ekele mmụọ na-esoro anyị na mmụọ anyị ga-afụ ebe anyị na-aga. Ejikwere m obiọma na-ekele ndị ọkpụ na ndị ichie, ndị mbụ na ndị egede. Ajana anyị niile siri bịa. Ajana ji eziokwu eji ụwa. Maka na asị na eziokwu bụ ndụ, na onye ọbụla pụtara ọjị pụtara ndụ. Ọ bụ ndụ ka m ji n'aka. Taa anyị ga-ata ndụ. Anyị ga-eweta nke ọma dị n'ụwa. Makwa na ọjị si na taa bụ ise, ọwụ ise ka ọ si anyị ga-enweta taa. Ise na-enye ndụ, ise na-enye nke ọma, ise ga-ewere nke dị na mmụọ tinye na mmadụ, ga-ewere nke dị na mmadụ tinye na mmụọ. Jikwa aka ọma eme ya, jikwa aka ọcha eme ya, jikwa obiọma eme ya. Otu a ka ọ ga dị na eke, n'orie, na afọ, na nkwọ. Ise. All right. Okay, so off rip, today we had a group study. So on Patreon, we have this group study we do once every 2 weeks. We all go on Zoom, we have a topic, and we go in, we discuss it. And today's group study was incredible. For those who were there, the replay should be up in the next, like once I'm done with the live, I'll have the replay up. Or no, hold on. Chat, am I gonna have the replay up? My working laptop broke, so I gotta think of how I'm going to get it up because I can't use my computer or my phone. But either way, I'll find a way to get it up at least before tomorrow morning. But either way, the group study was phenomenal. And when we broke Aji, maybe this is why, when we broke Aji, usually when we break Aji, we get 2 pieces or 4 pieces. I've gotten 3 pieces a few times, but today we had 5 pieces. Aji broke in 5 pieces. So today's prediction is whatever we put our hands in, whatever we will and we commit to, if we commit to getting it started today, if we give it life today, if we give birth to it today, it will grow, it will be, it shall manifest. So we got a few more hours left of the day. If there is anything in the world that you want to make happen, RG says that today's the day to do it, and I'm taking that to heart. I already know what I've gotten started, and you guys should see the results of it fairly soon. So, all right, let's see. Anyways, as always, guys, this is Ask Me Anything. If you guys have questions, you ask me, I answer your questions. Once you run out of questions, I run out of here, okay? So as long as you're asking the questions, as long as you're bringing the topics, I'm answering. Once the topics run out, once the questions run out, I'm out, okay? So far, I don't see a damn question in the entire chat or any topics you guys want to bring up. Today, Audrey said ise. Today, Audrey came in 5 pieces. So whatever it is that we discuss today and that we want to make happen, it shall happen. Okay. This is the power of the Almumo, the birthing energy, the procreative energy, is with us today. Ademma. I am not seeing one damn question. Edward asked, "What is cocoa?" But I get the sense that it's a useless question, and the question was very useless. Elijah says, "Save some oxygen for the rest of us." No, bro, I want you to die. All right, who else? Is this it? Is this, if we have no questions, I'm out. I know today was the Super Bowl. I know we're watching to see what Kendrick Lamar did. You know, I didn't even watch. How was that halftime show? Chat, did anybody watch the halftime show? Chat, did anybody watch the halftime show? Nah, I didn't see the halftime show. I didn't watch the show at all. We had a very intense group study. And then I took a nap and I woke up and I started working a little bit. And then we started going live. We started going live. They don't want to know. Maybe I should watch it now and see what it's talking about. Yeah. Do you take song requests? Kimberly, sure. Let's do that. Let's take song requests. He performed Not Like Us. Was it a good performance? Kimberly, give us a song request. Let's go ahead and try something new. I've never done this before, but we're going to do it. I mean, you know, I'm keeping I have a limit to what I'll play, though. All right, let's do that. I know Screw is a. Yeah. He sent me a picture of his. He sent me a picture of his son in the Not Like Us merchandise. So yeah. This is yeah, this is definitely a day for him. Ademma. Okay, so Onyekachi says it was a good performance. Ademma, that's cool. That's cool. Guys, it sounds like we have mastered the science of Odinani, which is fine. I can see that's really a thing. So what? You all going to misnomers to polymers. I want to watch this. This is interesting. Excuse me, I just wanted to say you have a beautiful smile. Oh, thank you very much. Hope you have a great day. I hope you have a very great day too. I hope you have a very great day too. Yes. Guys, looks like we are questionless today. And you guys know I don't play with this. I will skip the hell off if whatever the heck is. You speak a lot about creative process and Odinani. Please share more of your thoughts on connectivity between art and the. Oh yes, absolutely. So there's this term that comes to me. Of course, art can be approached in an infinite array of ways, but one of the things our ancestors understand about art and the creative process is that the things that we create, our inspirations, our ideas, our thoughts, which we receive in the form of thought or imagination, doesn't 100% belong to us. We are lucky to be the conduit to receive the frequency that gave us the inspiration, the idea, or as Nietzsche say, ako na uche. Ako being wisdom from the earth, uche being wisdom from above or from beyond. Uche being from the chi, ako being from Allah, right? So we are conduits for receiving rather than the generators or the creators of these things that we call art, creativity, ideas, all that stuff. If we get the inspiration to write a book, that book already exists, right? It already exists somewhere in the cosmos, somewhere in the beyond, somewhere in Alamwa, somewhere in Ubichuku. And it is coming to us to take human form, to take form in Uwamado, right? If we get the inspiration to make a great song or a piece of art, we are channelers. We are channelers. So what we're really doing within Odinani, with a lot of ritual, like we use ritual for example, with rituals, what you're doing is you are tuning yourself to the frequency necessary to receive the things you need to receive. Okay, let me say that again. You are tuning yourself to the frequency necessary to receive what you need to receive. Our ancestors tuned their frequencies by ways of many things. A lot of the more natural ones are water, right? If you have an understanding of the energy that is water, I got cards for Kedu. If you're trying to learn Igbo language, right? This is the number one place to do it, www.gedu.me. Okay. We also have a traditional medicine class, which I'll talk about a little later. So you are tuning yourself to the frequency necessary to receive. When you tune yourself to the frequency of water, there's a certain type of reception you'll get that will differ from the frequency you'll get from the earth, right? You can tune yourself to the frequency of the people around you. When you are around inspired people, you become inspired. When you are around creative people, you become creative. When you are around stagnant people, you become stagnant. When you are around negative people, you become negative. When you're around violent people, you become violent. Because more spirit has this nature of being shared. It's almost like a pool, right? So I have more, which is spirit, light, my unseen ethereal self that surrounds me, right? At least in my own cosmic imagination, it surrounds me, right? But at the same time, if I'm in a room with other people, our spirits are melding and meshing and becoming one. And at the same time, they are adjusting to each other's frequency. So if somebody's up here and I'm down here, we gradually start doing this, right? Unless we intentionally take ourselves to different places, right? So let's say we all meet in a room, then we all start kind of hitting the middle. But then we start playing a certain type of music. Now together we start going up. We start having a certain type of conversation. Together we start going up, right? We start watching a certain type of movie. We all together start doing this. Either way, this is it's a collective thing. It's almost like it's almost like when you're little and someone pees in the pool, right? Everybody's gonna feel it. Every single person's going to feel it, right? So when it comes to things like creativity, there are certain more you can align yourself with that help with creativity, right? The Greeks call them muses. Muses. Even the term music comes from this concept. Music, muse. The Greeks call them muses, but there are certain more that help with this particular thing. There are certain ancestors that help you with certain things. I have an ancestor that was an astute businessman. Anytime I need to do anything business related, I communicate with him. I channel him, right? Um, Anytime I need to lock in and focus, I channel my boy here, Kobe Bryant. Right? Anytime I need that Mamba mentality, I tap into Kobe Bryant. I channel this. I read, and I do it simple just by reading a little bit of this. Just reading a little bit of this, my frequency starts to change. My frequency, and then all of a sudden, I'm ready for the day. Right? So that, in a nutshell, tells you a lot about the creative process as far as our people go. Now, there's a lot more I can say about that because if you want to understand our ancestral thought systems, you can look at our modern means of creating. Our modern means of creating. Few things give you access to understanding Odinani, an ancestral way of being, than jazz music and ogene music, right? Which I think are one and the same philosophically. Philosophically, though they sound different. Those two will tell you exactly how we operate as a people, and it will also show you living, breathing proof of what I just explained. Adema. All right, let's see what else we got. He didn't do much, but was still culturally relevant. Okay, dope. Adema. Okay, cool. I didn't think he'd perform it. In Odinani, religion and spirituality, Proverbs and Haggis, they seem to focus on the adult view. Interesting. imagery of the adults. Why are children, babies not used the same degree? So if you see children used in ilu, it's usually alluding to their immaturity or their lack of knowing and so forth, right? Ilu, the people who speak in Ilu are typically adults. It is very, very uncommon to find a child who speaks in Proverbs. And therefore, it's coming from the perspective of the people who typically share them, usually adults, usually adult men. In the Igbo language, a person is not articulate until they start speaking with proverbs, and so they're able to freely use Ilu in their speech. The book Things Fall Apart kind of goes into this. It talks about how a person's capacity to use proverbs is a mark of their wisdom and their intelligence, and that accumulates with age. So older men typically use Ilu more than everybody else. And the amount of Ilu you might hear from a person will just grow over time, so that by the time you're old, you're just bouncing from proverb to proverb, from Ilu to Ilu. But as a child, your limited life experience, the limited amount of Ilu you've heard in your life, and then just being a kid, all of those things would make it, unless you're just one of them ones, you know. I had my cousin Uche was he would proudly tell you he knows over 132. I know about 132 proverbs. You know, so that's what he used. So he's my little cousin. He's a little nerd. He has the periodic table of elements memorized too. So that's kind of what time he's on. So yeah, it's just that's who typically shares them. And then you don't really seek wisdom from children in our culture. Oh, well, what did I just do? Okay, hold on. What is your favorite proverb and why? Okay, let's go. There's one that I say all the damn time. Guys, is there a proverb you guys hear me chat? Oh, I forgot to say chat. Is there a proverb you guys hear me say a lot? Is there a proverb you guys have heard me say a lot, or one you've heard from me that maybe has stuck with you, or something like that? I need you guys to remind me, because I know there's one that I use a lot. It's just not coming to me right now. It is just not coming to me right now. Right? Favorite proverb. I'll use a line from Nas. I consider it a proverb. I like the line, why shoot the breeze about it when you can be about it, right? Why shoot the breeze about it when you can be about it? I love that line. I think that line has guided me through many, many, many a situation, right? Oh, damn. They say you're cheating. So be it. Yeah, so be it. Hey, my granddad says you're talking bull. That's why you and him can't spell. That's all. Phoenix, throw Alexa in the trash. Fuck out of here, man. Throw Alexa in the trash. You and your grandfather. Anyways, a child. Okay. Oh wait, let me go back. I think I'm missing a lot. Hey, ezigbo nwanne m, kedu ka ị mere? Ai, ada Igbo. Ada anyị, adị mma nwanne, adị mma. Kedu ka ị dị? Taa na US a na-agba nke a na-akpọ Super Bowl. So ndị mmadụ, ọ dị ka ike agụla ndị mmadụ gbasara maka ihe gbasara ọdịnala ndị Igbo ka nke ọbụla a na-ekwu taa. Ọ dị mma. What is your favorite? Okay, where do you want that? A child is a potential social human, not yet fully because a child's potential has not fully been reached. Absolutely, yeah, I believe that. Have we thrown that person in the trash? Okay, yeah. Throw that fool in the trash. The Indian Army. What? The Indian Army? Did he? Guys, I thought I can compete with the Super Bowl today. It looks like it's not going to happen. I got it. It looks like it's not going to happen. Hold on, wait. Hey, Siberia, ndewo, so long. Question: all my new gray hair I was excited about now started to grow inches, black roots. Have I encountered Odinani Juju Magic reverse? Siberia, you're a very magical person. I would not be surprised if you crack the code on aging, right? If you crack the code on reversing the aging. So, but I'm sure the grays and I'm sure the blacks, they both look amazing on you. I'm so happy to see you. I feel like it's been a long time. Deities, spiritual events, gods, God stories are also portrayed as adults and not children. Um, for the most part, the Abara are like elders. They're all elders, right? They've been here long before us. Um, some things are like children, like famously Obanje are children. Some Egwonsi are children, things like that. But things like when you come to like spirits and all they're children, they're adults because they've been here long before us, right? It'd be very hard to depict the earth as a child, right? Hold on, wait. This, yo, wait. Anyway, we started to spiral out of control, man. What's going on? Hold on. Does semen retention have any significance in Igbo spirituality? It has a lot. It has a lot. It has a lot, right? It has a lot. It has a lot. So I think I'm going to do a discussion on that one of these days. There's a new type of video I've been experimenting with, right? I told you guys that there's something that I'm going to start today that you guys will see soon. There's a new type of video that I'm going to experiment with. So you guys will see, and I'll definitely cover that topic. But yes, it does. Semen retention does play a role as far as Odnani is a science, right? So it's a matter of you do it and you see what happens. And so our ancestors have something to say about what happens and so forth. But yes, absolutely, right? Absolutely. Can abstaining from sex improve one's financial state? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course. of course. Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. So I'll do the Ikenga energy, right? When we talk about things like semen retention and abstinence, all that stuff, we're talking about the Ikenga energy and so forth. The Ikenga energy, think about like if water is concentrated enough, it can crack through stone, right? If water is concentrated enough, it can crack through stone. If it has a little less concentration, but it still has a path that's aimed towards something, it will form a river, right? But if it's moving in too many directions, it becomes stale, stagnant water, right? If it's moving over here, over here, over here, that kind of thing. If you're giving everything 5%, then it becomes stale and stagnant. You understand? And that can lead to the ruin of a person, right? The Ikenga energy is best actualized when it's pointed in a direction. That's why a lot of ritual that pertain to Ikenga, you are calling your Ikenga to move in a specific direction. And that direction, to give power to the movement in that direction, the amount of things you abstain from, especially if it has a hold on you, all of that feeds into that particular energy, right? All of that feeds to that particular energy. So if you have a goal set, start thinking of things that are holding you down to where you're at right now that you can snip off and abstain from, or that kind of thing. And you go from having a lake to a river to a jet stream that can crack through stone, right? It's a big part of what's happening during fasting, whether you're fasting from food, you're fasting from sex, you're fasting from certain behaviors, certain habits, certain vices, and so forth, right? So anytime I'm doing Ikenga work, there's always an included fast or an included abstinence from something, right? I'll do my. So, but I will do like a full video on that because I do get that question a lot, and there's a lot to be said. I'll do my. I watched Kendrick Lamar. My whole family streamed from Tubi. It snowed heavy in Massachusetts today. Oh, you're in Massachusetts. Interesting. I have family there. In Boston right now. And yesterday was my birthday. Hey, happy birthday! I turned 48. Grateful for Chukwu Okike. Hi, Chukwu Okike gozie gị. Ị ga-adị, ị ga-eto, nke ọbụla i tiri aka ọ ga-adị n'ụwa. Ọ ga-adị otu a na eke, n'orie, n'afọ, na nkwọ, ise. Happy birthday to you. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't know they were playing it on Tubi. Are the Obanje from your hometown? Hold on. Are the Obanje from your hometown? Are they from the third mind sharing bit? Children of the Sun. Okay, Obanje. I think you're talking about Obanje, right? Beverly. Oh, I'm so Beverly. Bevlin. Bevlin. So I don't know why I did that. I want to call you your. Just keep that between you and me. But yeah. So Obanje, no, Obanje is not specifically from my hometown. Obanje is just from water in general, right? Obanje is to water as fish is to water. So you can't say fish comes from one particular town, that kind of thing. Obanje are also not related to the Omo Anwo, which are the children of the rising sun. I believe Obanje have been around since Ogaaka, since the beginning. I believe that all of the forces, in fact, Obanje might predate Ogaaka. It might predate Ogaaka because water comes before earth. Water comes before earth. Water came before earth. Water existed before earth. And so, yeah, if somebody were to tell me Obanje predates Ogaaka, then absolutely I believe them. But that being said, there's a chance that Obanje then predates it. But there's no connection between the children of the rising sun, Omoango, and Obanje. Omoango are powered by the sun, and Obanje are water beings. They are of water, powered by water, from water, right? Actually powered by enjoyment, by pleasure. 37 people in here. Please hit that thumbs up, hit that thumbs up, hit that thumbs up. I used to be real dramatic about that thumbs up, and I think I've let off, right? So I need to get back on it, right? And these are headbutting the people that don't hit the thumbs up. Hit that. We're at 14. Let's get to 15. Let's get to 16. 15, 15, 15. Going, 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 going. Let's go. Who's going to be the next one to hit the thumbs up? Let's get to 15. Let's get to 15. I'll stop doing this. Let's get to 15. Are you guys for real? Are you guys being serious right now? Somebody hit the thumbs up so I can get to 15. There we go. All right. I'll do my. Yes. Join the Patreon. Oh, hey, Phoenix, you are A1. You've been promoted to lieutenant. What can be said of the grown princesses of Emo State? Damn, creative force, what you got in mind, man? Asking about grown princesses and semen retention, bro. Hey, chill out, bro. It's just us, man. Chill out. I don't understand the question, so if you have more details, I'd appreciate that. I don't. There are many, many beautiful princesses from Imo State. How about that? Yes. What kind of supernatural monsters or creatures do people believe in Nodinani? So a lot of those you'll see them depicted in masquerades. A lot of them you'll see them depicted in masquerades. There's Mbedike, for example, right? So have you seen Black Panther, where Killmonger goes and sees that mask and he's like talking about the mask? It's the Igbo mask at the very beginning of the movie. That is an Mbedike. Mbedike means the time of the warrior, the time of the warrior. So this mask is a concentrated warrior spirit. Mbedike is no joke. The Mbedike does not appear for no reason. The Mbedike does not appear freely. It is a warrior masquerade. So Mbedike is one of them. So if you want to know what it looks like, honestly, I'm going to tell you guys right now. The movie Beauty and the Beast, that beast, that's an Mbedike. That's Mbedike. Because it's not based on anything else but Mbedike. It's Mbedike, 100%. From beginning, everything about it. From the configuration of the fur to the horns and the teeth and everything, just from beginning to end. That's what that is, right? Disney takes a lot from Odinani. Disney takes a lot. Like sometimes it's like blunt, right? But the Beast and Beauty of the Beast is in Mbedike. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Things that people, of course, the world famous Obanje. There's Eze Blumiri or Mami Wata, as they call them. So there's a difference between Nemiri and Mamiwata, that's something that I have to make clear, right? And people make this mistake all the time. So there is a thing that lives, a creature that lives within water that is a siren, okay? And it is referred to as Mamiwata. And people will make the mistake of saying that that itself is Nemiri, and it's not. Um, it's one of Nemiri's children, one of Nemiri's the things that exist in her particular world, right? So this is what the Westerner would call a mermaid, right? So if you want to talk about creatures, this one, what the Westerner would refer to as a mermaid. These particular creatures, as far as Odinani goes, they are very beautiful. They are very sensual, but they can't get pregnant. They can't have kids, and they often develop a jealousy for women who are either more beautiful than them or who do have kids and do have families and things like that. And what they'll try to do is deceive the husbands of those women to leave the wife and chase her instead. And then once the husband is gone, or once the family's broken apart, the thing disappears or runs away, and that kind of thing. So, be careful for those, chat. Trying to think of some other ones. Mbedike, Ogbanje, Mami Wata, Ako Gili. Ako Gili is like a wandering spirit, right? So those there's like an infinite amount of those. They come in all types of forms. There's Egwunsi, and Egwunsi is a possessive spirit. So this particular spirit will possess a person and cause them to behave a particular way. A lot of the people you are dealing with in the world are being held by Egwunsi. It is not them that you're dealing with. It is the thing that is there's something driving them, right? So Adema. Yeah, Google Umbedike and then look at Beauty and the Beast, the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. You'll be like, I saw when I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. So I didn't mind. In Igbo, which spirit would you consult to In Igbo, which spirit do you consult when you want to find out more about a particular place you feel connected to? The land of the spirit of the spirit of the land of that place. You can talk directly to the land. You can appeal to that land to speak to you. You can do so by holding the land in your hand as you speak. Um, as simple as that, being barefooted also when you visit land, when you speak to land, being barefooted, and barefooted for real, not like Western barefooted with like the grass is getting in your way. I'm suspicious about all this grass they keep making get in people's way to block off the soil. Though, yeah, that's getting kind of suspicious. But yeah, you have to your feet have to touch the soil, not just the grass. Okay. And then your hands have to touch the soil as well. And you can appeal to the soil. You can talk directly to the soil, and the soil will speak to you. Okay. Today's group study, we had a little moment where we were talking about Ijiala, the art of communicating with land, of working with land and communicating with land and that kind of thing. So, okay, let's see here. Do these creatures know that they are what they are? Yeah, I would imagine they do. Yeah, I would imagine they do. I feel like I missed a question or two. Is Ikenga the energy of achieving? Absolutely, yes. Yes, it is. It is. Ikenga is the energy of achieving. Of the type of achievement. Omomo is also achievement too, but Ikenga is the type of achievement that you go out and get, right? That you start from one point and a kinetic achievement, right? One you go out and get, right? Omomo is more like bringing things towards yourself, magnetism, right? Which is also a form of achievement too. Okay, let's go. Let's figure out what's going on with all those emo states. So emo state on my paternal side. Um, my African ancestry test shows Fulani and Kanuri. Interesting. 23 and me shows Igbo on my father's line. Adema. He said, Phoenix, you must be a good looking person. Those are three good-looking tribes. All right. Where are we at? Okay, cool. According to my genetics, one company states that my ancestry are Igbo, another Yoruba. What is the connection? Also, the male haplogroup is traced to Pharaoh Ramses. What is the connection between them? Yeah, so Igbo, Yoruba, they're related. It's like German and Dutch. It's like, you know what I mean? They're very, very, very related. Differences would just come as a circumstance of relatively recent history, and that kind of thing. But generally, the same people. I don't know why a DNA test would say both, though. Maybe you have both in you, of course. Um, Somehow, some way, they've figured out how to make distinguish the two genetically. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not really a geneticist, but yeah, they're very related groups. A lot of cognates as far as like their words. I just figured out that di, which is like is in Igbo, is also is in Yoruba. This is something I just learned very, very recently. Uh, like yeah, super similar people. So I don't know. Maybe that's causing the overlap, but I'm not a geneticist. I don't know. I do hear a lot about this Pharaoh Ramses being connected to. I think it's like um one of the L1s, L0 or L2 groups, which is also like Igbo, Yoruba, and so on and so forth. A lot of the Central African groups. Yeah, it's not none of that is surprising. None of that is surprising at all. I think Kemet was a general meeting place for all African people, for a lot of African peoples, um, and so forth, and even people from beyond Africa. But it seemed to be a general meeting place for a lot of peoples from Africa, and the Egyptians, the Kemetic people themselves, say that they come from deep, further into the Nile, right? Which is uh, either Great Lakes region or Ethiopia. Um, but around that Great Lakes region, I think that's where you get there's like a break off genetically, and then the West African group, and then that group. But even if you go to that region, that lakes region in Central Africa, you see a lot of people with Igbo names like Njoku, Okoye, all these different like it's common. I had a coworker who was Lo, why can't I talk? Luo. And he was telling me that Igbo people are related to his people, that they know, like we know you guys are related to us and stuff. And I was like, okay, I didn't know that, you know. And he was kind of educating me on it and telling me how it all works and this and this and that. And when I started doing my research, I started seeing some pictures of like old Acholi and Lao. Why am I not saying this right? I know how to say it, it's just not coming to me. Luo. I started seeing their attire, and it looked a lot like what I was seeing with people in Enugu, and so it really blew my mind. But yeah, there's a connection there with that lakes region and like the lakes, the Great Lakes, and then like a part of southern Sudan. And with us, there's a connection that I'm having a very hard time doubting, right? And the connection was to a point where it was like the same, it was like a scarification pattern that both had, that both groups had, ostrich feather, which you also see in a lot of art and Kemet and things like that, and then the same hairstyle. And so I saw a group of people in Enugu and them had the exact same look, and I was like, oh shit, you know. And of course, the words that parallel and so forth. So it's the same ethnic group as like Lupita Nyong'o. Trying to think of who else is a famous, a bunch of Kenyan presidents, I'm sure. Uh, who else? Who else? Who else? Allegedly Obama. Allegedly Obama is from that group, but I think there's something funny going on there. His daughter does it. His daughter looks like his daughter looks like a pastoralist. How about that? Right? She doesn't look like she's from that group, and he doesn't either. But hers is like blatant, you know. So what am I? Eats corn vertically. I'm not a bot says this dude definitely eats corn. You stole that from Goldberg eats corn the long way. Hey, we're throwing I'm not a bot in the trash for not being creative. Angelica Pickles and Day one day. I'm not a bot. You go in the trash for not being creative. That was whack. You stole that from Goldberg eats corn the long way. Uh, how do how did Igbos interact with Moors during the Middle Ages? Okay, so Moor, I think, general term for like Sahelian African. Long history of trade. It's probably been going on for centuries, but a long history of trade. There's not much I know beyond that. I just know there's a lot of trade going on. And yeah, you know, that's really it. So Moors, Mauritania, a little bit into Mali or Mal. I guess you can count them too. Just that whole Islamic region. There's long history of trade. I would love to. You always hear about these manuscripts from Mali, but nobody ever reads them. Like I want to know what they say. So I would love. I think you can open up a lot about West African history from those manuscripts, and I would love to get a hold of them. Which is why I've made a certain decision that I've made on them. Okay. I mean, I think I'm gorgeous. He said, on them. Okay, there's more Yoruba DNA available in databases than Igbo specifically. That would make sense. Mm. On the mitochondrial test, multiple results from migration. My DNA has Igbo, Ibibio, Yoruba, Ifoma, and is there a group called Ifoma? Is there a group called Ifoma? Or is that Idioma? Idioma. Okay. Okay, super interesting. I'm 85% Bantu, all the way west. So if you're saying I think maybe it's a typo, but if you're saying Idioma, I mean I have a hard time saying that they're not Igbo, but they might have a different actually I think they also say something similar. But the okay, even the name Idioma, what does it mean? Good people. How do you say that in Igbo? Indioma, you know. So take your idioma and count that in the Igbo category, whatever percentages you're getting there, right? Maybe an idioma person will. They always accuse Igbo people of claiming people, so I don't. I don't want to contribute to the stereotype, but idioma Igbo and Mumuye. I think that's like a. I think they're similar to us too, but I don't know too much about them. So that's dope. Yeah, Ibibio. Okay, Angel. Yeah. Okay, Adema. That's interesting. Yeah, you did. Okay, idioma. Idioma. Uh, do the Igbo use dance to get into trance? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Dance is one of the most effective methods for entering trance you can imagine. And then all spirits, all forces have certain movements that help you align to their frequency, for lack of better terms. So dance is absolutely a very, very, very common way of entering trance for a lot of different things. Rishu Giri says hello. Hello, one. Hello. Welcome, welcome. They said we came from the beginning of the Nile yeah, we came from the beginning of the Nile where God happy dwells, at the foothill of the mountain of the moon. Okay, interesting. That sounds like somewhere in Ethiopia. So that's dope. That makes sense. Repeating my question that got skipped. Okay, no problem. Seeing that we are in the era of destruction according to cosmology, what's next? What are we in for? Um, this is such a common question. But I couldn't tell you. I can tell you that there is a pattern. There is a pattern. There's a pattern of connection, separation, connection, separation, right? So Ugaka connection, Uga Ugachi separation. Oganwo connection, Ogazi. And when we say connection separation, we're talking about with Chukwu Okike, with the creator, with Chukwu Okike. So right now, We're in an era of separation. The next era will be an era of connection. What that looks like, I don't know. What that looks like, I don't know. Okay? What that era of connection looks like, I cannot say. But I just going from the pattern, it's an era of connection. But in the eras where we're connected to Okike or we're disconnected to Okike, we're more connected to Allah. So right now we're more connected to Allah. We're more connected to Allah than Okike. As strange as that sounds. Um, and so, yeah, I don't know what the next era is going to look like, but it is an era of connection. So we shall see. I think a lot is being encountered, uncovered, discovered at the moment that is hinting towards a big shift happening in how we interact with our universe and ourselves and so forth. But even like, anyways, yeah, things are changing. So yeah, it's an era of connection. I can't say exactly what it's going to look like, right? I don't know. Kenyan lady asked me if I'm Bantu. I said no. She said if you're Igbo, you're Bantu. I doubted my Viola DNA proves her right. So that Bantu term, I don't know what they're talking about. But okay, how do I put this? Okay, let me put this. The Bantu migration is very interesting, but you have to be very careful with a lot of what you're here or what is said about it because it is super duper 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 important to white South Africans and people from the Horn of Africa. Like it's really important to them and it's important to them for very nefarious reasons. So there's a lot that's said about it that doesn't make sense to me, but there is something there. They say that the Bantu migration begins in Cameroon, right? Um, so I want to know why. I want to know why. Why was that the demarcation line? Um, and that'd be interesting. But then, like a lot of the things they say make somebody Bantu. Igbo people have that too, right? But Igbo people have it too. Yoruba people have it too, right? But Yoruba and Igbo are technically not Bantu. You know, Ghana people have it too, but they're technically not that kind of thing. Like a lot of the language cognates and things like that. Like Bantu, the people, Mbautu, the people. Same thing, Igbo, right? So I do wonder why when they did the listing they cut Igbo off. I don't know what that was about. Like it just ends at Nigeria for some reason. I think that's like some South African politics because in South Africa they want to create the narrative that oh well we all just kind of migrated here, you know, so we all came from somewhere. The only real South Africans are the Bushmen, you know, they can't do nothing, so it's cool, yeah. That's what they're trying. So it's a lot of South African politics. So I don't really get into all that Bantu shit, but like Central African people, they talk about it a lot. I don't. They should. It's very important outside of West Africa, right? Someone tell you that they're Bantu, like okay, it's weird, but yeah. Um, I can say more about that, but I'll leave it alone. It won't make any sense to anybody. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what they mean. I think Bantu just means the N word. I'm just gonna be it just means the N word. I think it's just the N word. Okay, and there's a certain type of N word that they've classified as like N word concentrate, and that's what Bantu means. Okay, it's how it's used in South Africa. It's how it's used in the Horn of Africa. It's how a lot of different groups in Africa use it. It's not, you don't hear that term in Nigeria a lot, that kind of thing. So it just seems to pop up once you start sharing your space with other people. And it's always under the pretense of, well, you're not really from here, right? You're not really from here. You came from Cameroon. That kind of thing. And it's like, why'd you end that? Why would it end that? That's weird. Why there, right? I don't know. You know, maybe if you said these people came from Nigeria, now you got this big ass thing to contend with, right? I don't know. It's kind of, I think there's a lot of politics going on there. Okay, where are we at? What's the prediction? Oh yeah, you were there. The prediction, it broke in five pieces. Augie's prediction was that it broke in five pieces. So whatever it is that we put our hands into, so long as we receive this Augie, it shall be. Whatever it is we commit, uche, ubi. Mwana madu too, it shall be. So Aji says that whatever we are going to do today, it shall be. We're giving birth to something new today. So it was a very special breaking of the Aji, which I think led to a very, very good conversation. So a pastor, yeah, yeah. I've always thought she looked East African with the four. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't think that guy's. And then you look at Obama's siblings, like, oh, these are his siblings. Like, no, it don't look like. And then you have that little weird picture where he's like wearing Somali clothes, and the Somali guy's giving him like a sword, and it's like, oh, this is Muslim garb. That's not Muslim garb. That's Somali garb. That's not Muslim garb. It's Somali specifically. So it's a weird thing for a young Lao man to be doing. It's a very weird thing for a young Lao man to be doing, right? But that's my own little conspiracy theory. And then the daughter comes out and it's like, you know. But Black Hawk Down. Somalians don't have the best reputation. Kenyans are very like marketable. It works a little bit better, but I don't know. Some about that shit. You know. But yeah, the forehead looks very or at least like Tutsi or something. Are you interested in making Igbo world model, large language model for Igbo concepts? Mezi, if this is something you're working on, I can contribute. If it's something you're working on, I'm very, very, very open to contributing. Idioma. Yeah, we got the correction. Thanks, guys. Diana, all that. I have no idea who's been tested more, but Yoruba DNA has been sequenced more fully because it's used as a default for West African DNA in a lot of studies. Okay. Do you think someday we could meet and make hamburger? Dunce, you got to eat better food, bro. That's why your jokes are trash. We danced to trance on them. Even took that to the church. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Poured a lot of ourselves into that church of a thing. The Twa Pygmy and Igbo ancestor. They are said to be original settlers of Kemet dwelled. There are. I don't know about specifically the Twa, but in the telling of our own history, we do speak about Omoshi, which are dwarf people, and these dwarf people are the ones who figured out how to connect with and communicate with the earth, which is the basis of Odinala. The word Odinala literally means as it is on the earth, right? So these dwarf people are said to predate or said to be the first people, and these first people are where we get a lot of our ancestral practices, tools, understanding, and wisdom from. So I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if it's like specifically the Twa people, but some dwarf-like people were really predominant throughout Africa before the modern era, because every single group that I have encountered and or studied or heard their own tale or telling of how they do their cosmology and spirituality, they all have this story of these dwarf people. So, Udo Nodinani. How do we best determine which deity hears us the most? Diana, so Odinani, I think the main focus, okay, this is the best way to contextualize it. Just focus on your chi and your ancestors, okay? Focus on your chi and your ancestors. That's who you're appealing to, that's who you're talking to, that's who you're dealing with. The Abara, right, which we're calling deity, the Abara are like, the Abara are nature. They're elements of nature. And because we share a space with them, they're like neighbors. Or they're like you're like, think of like a small town, and my neighbor also happens to be the judge. And this neighbor over here also happens to be the firewoman. And this neighbor over here happens to be the curator at the museum. Okay. So when you need those specific things, you go to them. When you need the specific things that they offer and you yourself cannot attain it with your own hands, you can appeal to them or for that particular thing. But one of the things I have to make clear as far as Odinani is that anything like Abara Aroshi, we use those things to reach our aims. We don't necessarily like I think maybe I'm not answering your question correctly. Let me check something because hears us the most. Yeah, we use them to achieve our aims. So as far as hearing it, right, is a matter of your methodology, your method. How do you establish that communication is one. And then after methodology is like sometimes there'll be like an arashi, for example. Somebody will build an arashi that connects to one abara or another. It is up to the person that owns the arashi to show you that this thing works. Okay, so some arashi work better than others. Some arashi work better than others. An arashi is almost like a like a satellite that receives a signal. Okay, so some satellites work better than others. And so if you go to an Irishi and it's supposed to do X, Y, Z, and that doesn't happen, you're not under the obligation of believing that it works. Okay, so but then you can have your own individual methodology for making these connections. If you want to connect to Nemiri, it's as simple as going to the water and speaking to the water. If you want to connect to Arobinag, it's as simple as communicating with the trees. If you want to communicate with, I'm trying to think of some other ones, Igwe, it's as simple as appealing to the sky, like when a person, like when Abrahamic people, when they pray, they're appealing to Igwe, right? Appeal to heaven, appealing to Igwe, that kind of thing. So everybody has their own methods for making it happen. Some people have little tools and tricks that are better than others. But as far as being heard, your primary focus, as far as Odinani goes, is always with your chi and your ancestors. Okay? Wadamma. The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Uda. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Thank you, thank you, Alpha. I appreciate it. I don't want to keep wanting to say Bevelyn, sorry. I thought the Bantu were from South Africa and migrated upwards. No, allegedly they come from Cameroon and migrates downwards. Now there's something there, right? This Bantu it's real. It's a real thing. There's something there, but a lot of there's no research around it. It's this like this white guy noticed that some of the Africans use metal and some don't, and so the ones that use metal have to be different. They looked into it and saw that the ones that use metal have a lot of language, like a lot of their languages parallel each other. So there's something there. There's something being measured. But just a lot of white South Africans is really important to them, and if they're saying something, just do the opposite. I was just cracking up that Trump gave them refugees. Oh man, Trump gave them refugee status. Everybody in South Africa is like, yeah, 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 go, 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 go. This is your chance. Go, 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 go. Get the fuck out of here. And they're saying, we are not a refugee, or however fuck they talk, saying they're not refugees. That's not what they want. They thought Trump was gonna come and be like, all right, blacks, you gotta listen to the white people again. And then fucking, they can stop complaining. But oh god, just the worst. I've never met somebody who's like, oh, I was hanging out with some white South Africans. It was a pleasant experience. Just oh man, what? The worst. I don't mind. Oh really? Cameroon's right next to Igbo land. Yeah, yeah, but they don't. I don't know what the hell that Bantu shit is about. Honestly, I think it's just the N word. I think it's just nigga. Isn't Igbo a Benue Congo language? As yeah, it's a Benue Niger Congo. Yeah, it is. Diana, you're correct. I think there is such saying nigga. Not central. They say we migrated in a spiral from Central Africa. All this migrating shit too. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, man? I don't think that's some cave behavior, man. I don't think that's some bird behavior. What are you think, oh my, where are you going? So you're an Ebola, you get up and go to camp to do what? To see some trees? Like, where the fuck are you going? I don't. Oh, that's some real chase the buffalo ass bullshit, man. This shit doesn't, I don't, I don't fully have the words for it, but I'm suspicious of this whole concept. Okay, I don't fully have the words for it, right? I know that sedentary agriculturalist people don't really migrate in mass numbers like that, right? They don't really migrate in mass numbers like that. But there's just so many parallels in language and customs and organizational systems and art and architecture. There's just so many parallels. It would be interesting to figure out what it is, but I think that the people are tapped into the same thing. I don't think it's a matter of physical movement. I think these are people who are tapped into the same thing, right? Now, perhaps it is physical movement, right? I think figuring out if there's like a DNA, right, it might be a good way to see if it's physical movement, but it just sounds like some cave behavior. Like, where are you going? Yeah, Bantu was never taught us who we are. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody in Nigeria sees it. Technically, they want to say that like people from Cross Rivers, like Efik and them, are Bantu, but like, okay, like, what's the difference? I don't always, I don't, you don't really go to Cross Rivers thing. There's this like big cultural difference that happens that doesn't happen between going from like Edo to like Osun State. There's not like a big, so but they claim. But then again, there's also things like the Ekbe society, right? There's a lot of evidence to point to if there is this Bantu thing is real, then it's probably a Bantu. It's a Bantu pan Bantu thing, right? Because all the Igbo groups that join Ekbe, are all on the Cross River, um, are all on Cross River, that kind of thing. So, but I think it's some fucking bullshit, man. Yeah, the Bantu. And then here's the thing, right? Like, what is the Bantu language, right? If I paid somebody to tell me what languages my ancestors spoke, and they told me Bantu, I'd beat that person up. I don't what. What do you mean? What do you mean, what language my ancestors? Oh, they spoke Proto-Indo-European. Like, bro, what? What is that? You know? So I don't know. It's pretty. It's pretty prominent. People keep talking about it a lot, right? For something that nobody's really ethnically Bantu, right? A lot of Central, like people from Congo will tell you, oh, I'm Bantu. Like, nigga, what the fuck? What are you really, bro? From Lingala. Okay, fine, dude. What the fuck? Why'd you just say that? I don't know. Let me just leave it alone. I think it's just white South African propaganda. Uh, Central Africans came from Northeast Africa, Kenya, through the Sahel into Central Africa portions, graded up from. I guess it's interesting. Audrey came out as 5. Yes, he said Angel D Babe understands the significance. I went to Obama's father's ancestral village and met his grandfather. Okay, was the story legit? Was the story legit? Because the daughter looks like a Rwandan. Was the story legit? I'll email you. I'll them. How much do we depend on DNA for African ancestry? It sounds like forehead shape is just as a. Oh yeah. Oh man. I don't know whenever I do this, my nose starts running. Yeah, yeah. You can just look at someone's forehead and know exactly where the hell they're from, boy. That was funny. Would these dwarf people be non-human humanoids? No, I don't think so. No, they're not. They're not. They're human. I also know that Kenyans with a similar head shape. One that I worked with, yeah. It's like it's a people that ethnic groups that herd cattle, they tend to have that head shape. Ethnic groups that herd cattle tend to have that head shape. Ethnic groups that are lactose tolerant tend to have that head shape. Um, yeah, lactose tolerant herd cattle tend to have that head shape. And I don't believe the Luo, the Kenyan group, the Luo people, I don't think they have that. I think Lupita is one of them, right? So she would have to have that head shape for it to add up, you know. I sound like some damn eugenicist, right? That motherfucking. All right. Dwarves are seen as technologically all over the world. You hear these stories about these dwarves who gave everybody their technology all over the world. Even Thor. Thor is a dwarf. Thor, the Nordic Thor, is supposed to be a dwarf. Very small people, Guatemala. Yeah, I personally don't solely rely on its possibility, points of interest, use my genealogy and family, oral history, family. Yeah, that kind of thing. DNA tests are tools to help navigate. Yeah, I agree, and they're great tools too. I agree. Could be or ancient hominid. I don't think they're an ancient hominid. I've heard a few people tell stories about dwarf people, modern times, taking children into the forest and teaching them spiritual disciplines. Yeah, same thing. Before sending them back home, someone later. Yep. The white South Africans like we're not going anywhere. It's like wah wah wah. Hey, that shit was funny, man. The South Africans can be very funny. But yeah, they're like, hey, it's your chance, bro. Go, 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 go. Before he changes his mind. They were so confused. Like, no, that's not what we want, you know? We want you to come here and tell them to listen to us, right? I gotta think. True about focusing on your chi. I don't know about Odinala. I was only taught about handling the water. I snuck under the radar. That's funny. I think the best tools for determining lineages are a combo of science, metaphysical science, and yeah. Okay, I don't know. Facts that how you have read. Okay, cool. I feel like the only major migration must have happened when the Sahara dried up and there was a ripple effect for other migrations. That would make sense. That would make sense. I can see that. Bantu can represent nomadic. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. There's no nomadic Bantu culture, so I don't know why they all decided at once. Okay, let's stop. Right. The ones that migrate are still migrating. Cultures that migrated are still migrating. They're still till this day. Migratory cultures are still mine. None of them have ever stopped. Right. Even the Proto-Indo-Europeans, right? Who, because they're migratory, we tend to tell everybody's history as migratory, right? But that's not everybody's history. And they're still migrating, right? How do you think they got to Australia? How do you think they got to the United States? Even within the United States, the social structure is, I'm born and I get out of the house and I go somewhere else, and then my kids will go somewhere else, and my kids will go somewhere else, and my kids. So yeah, that's that culture. But when you go to all these Bantu cultures, they have this specific understanding about where a person's from that doesn't really lend to being migratory. I think of all the Bantu cultures, I think Igbo is probably the most migratory, you know, because we get up, we leave our village a lot, and we go somewhere else. It's been happening since the beginning of time. But then, we still see ourselves as being from that place, right? But like Fulani, for example, now, if you give birth to a Fulani person in Kano, that person's from Kano. If you give birth to that, if they have a sibling in Bauchi, that person's now from Bauchi, which is how Westerners read, because they're all both are pastoral people. That's a pastoral mentality, right? Um, Also, the cosmology of Bantu people doesn't really lend to the idea that they're migratory, unless they all at the same time decided, okay, we're going to start thinking this way instead, right? When people are agriculturalists, when they're settled people, agriculturalists, their understanding of reality is based off of I'm going to be here forever. I have to develop a relationship with everything here. The people here, the nature here, the spirits here, the land here, the water here, and so forth. So in all of their spiritual systems, that's what you're seeing, right? The people who talk about Oshun, there's a river in their town called Oshun. The people that talk about Idemmili, there's a river in their town called Idemmili, and that kind of thing. And then usually as they spread, it's like as the family grows, okay, need more land, you guys go out here a little bit more, and so forth, right? And that kind of thing. So you see that throughout Central Africa, you see that throughout West Africa, you see that in Southern Africa, I think to an extent, not as much though. But then like in like parts of East Africa and the Sahel, you don't really see that. And then you don't see that because people are pastoral, right? And all the pastoral people, they have a look. They have a look, right? You can see them. They're like, oh, okay, this motherfucker probably got 13 cows to his name, you know? So I don't know. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I tend to question things a lot. Is there a connection between Twa and Tiv? I think Tiv is technically Bantu. I don't know if there's a connection beyond that. And I believe Twa people are not Bantu. Another thing they try to do is like, oh, the Bantus came and they conquered the Twa, the Pygmies, and they conquered the Bushmen. That's like it just sounds like white South African propaganda. Like, oh, see, everybody does it. That's what it is. Everybody does it. That's what it is. No, no, not everybody does it. Not everybody does it, right? When we tell Chinese history, we don't talk about migrate. It's not about where these people came from. They've been, if you can name a date, they were there, right? So at a point, we start talking about where they came from. Now, we are older than Chinese people, right? So I don't think you can really deduce our history or tell our history from like migratory patterns, right? Now, of course, there's this idea that everybody has to come from somewhere, you know? But I don't think we know enough about the origin of humanity and the beginning of the human animal to be able to determine what that looked like. Hey, what's up?
Can you check if we're actually going to school on Monday? I don't think Mom is sure.
No, I don't think you have school tomorrow.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you know, but that doesn't mean you just be up forever. You need to start going to bed. Yeah. All right. In Ohafia, our names and common household items are the same as eat. Right. So I don't like where do they that the drawing of the line is funny because it's like a spectrum, right? It's a spectrum where two towns neighboring each other is the same thing. But if you keep heading in this direction, you start seeing changes, right? But they're not so significant that you would say this is where the line is drawn. So I don't know what I have in common with a Yoruba person culturally that I don't have in common with, um, hell, even like a lot of Cameroonian groups, right? With like, what's this one? The ones that wear that kind of thing that looks like Ishago. I can't think. So I think it's time to wind up. I'm getting tired. But yeah. Can't remember the Pygmy tribe. They believe like a rainbow god. It kind of reminded me of Irish folk tales. So we also have this concept of Eguregu. Eguregu is the rainbow serpent. Eguregu is the rainbow serpent, and I actually finished a video and my laptop broke, but I talked about Eguregu for the first time on my channel on that video. So once this laptop is back, then we're gonna drop that video. But Eguregu is the rainbow serpent. So we also have the same thing as that you're referring to, this rainbow god, the rainbow serpent. Yep. Adama. I'm not sure it was legit way back in the Haggis. I saw his grandfather's grave sites. Okay. One was sharing stories. I don't remember much about. Okay, all right. I'll take their word for it. If he's from there, he's from there. Once I saw the daughter, I was like, hold on. He looks like a Rwandan, right? He shield me already. Ịma now. Ha chọrọ ịgwa m Angel the Babe, ha chọrọ ịgwa m na ndị Igbo na-agarị ka ndị Nnama na ndị Hausa. So a chọrọ ịgwa anyị na anyị niile esiri ebe a bịa ebe a na-aga ana m agwa mgbe ọbụla mmadụ jụrụ m ana m agwa ha that anyị si ala abịa ala ifọrọ m bụ ebe m siri abịa. So otu ndị iche m si ọ dị. So mmadụ m ihe gbasara Bantu ma ọ Bantre ka ọ gị. Test can prove, list other people. Okay. It's my first time on the continent. Oh, Phoenix, I would love to share your story. Tooth gaps that is cosmetically closed. Oh, Siberia, you have a gap. That's hilarious. My daughter has a gap. My son has a gap. My dad has a gap. I have a little gap. It's very small, but it's there. I can shoot water through it. So it counts as a gap. My wife had a gap, but it's been cosmetically closed. My father-in-law has a gap. My brother-in-law has a gap. Who else? Who else in my family has a gap? My mom cosmetically created a gap, but it closed back up, right? So gaps in Igbo culture are considered like it's like good looking, like it's a beauty thing, right? So in my mom's time, they used to put things in their teeth to open up the space, but hers has closed. But it's an artificial one anyway. It's not real. But yeah, tooth gaps are the best. Yes, it's a very prominent gene with Igbo people is tooth gaps, having gaps, right? Somebody will be gap tooth looking at me talking about I'm not African. I'm actually a Chippewa. I'm like, all right, okay, dude. You say so. Are there demons in Odinala? Okay, so you would call like bad spirits, Ajomo, you call them Aka Ogeli. Aka Ogeli. Aka Ogeli. Aka Ogeli. Aka Ogeli, right? You can also just call them Ajomo, but yeah, there's the same thing, same kind of demons, all that stuff. Bad spirits you don't want to be dealing with. They are there. Energy of Amadioha, Igwe, Anyanwu, Shango, just learned. PM Faye Senegal practice voodoo. He is a Surrey Wolof tour guide. That is dope. Cool. Oh. I ordered the book. Can I discuss the importance of the book? How do you feel about the author? Not from the culture. Yeah, it's written by a Caucasian Caucasoid. Hold on, where is it? Written by a Caucasian Caucasoid, but she did a good job. She did a good job documenting everything. There's no real problem with it. She had an experience and she shared her experience very well. So, and created a good learning tool. So I'm not tripping. You know. Everyone migrated out of Africa. Yeah, I've heard that. Ah, shit. The rainbow serpent I know as Dambala. Interesting. What language is that? How do you spell Eguregu? You were close. Can I type? I don't even know if I can type. I don't know if I can type. Let me write it so I can think. Give me a second. All right. EGWU REGWU. EGWU REGWU. Somebody wants to put that in the chat. Chat, can y'all put that in the chat for me? Nope, we don't do wakadu. We sit in one time and you say, yeah. Wherever y'all going. Ache na ndị niile bụ ndị nnama. So all otu. Ịma na ndị ọcha bụ ndị nnama. So ha ji uzoro na uche ndị nnama na-asị na ndị niile nọ n'ụwa na-eme ka ha. So ana m agwa ha mba ọwụrụ ya. I love front tooth gaps, so attractive to me. Mine is on the left side of my mouth. Yes, I like tooth gaps too. I'm tooth gap. Oh, it's a gap gang is in the house. Let's go. If you have a gap between two front teeth, are you Igbo or Yoruba? I mean, you can be either, but it's very common with Igbo people. You can be, both groups have it. Both groups have it. Between the two front teeth up top. Yeah, it's common with, but it's super common with Igbo people, but both groups have it more than the average everybody else, if that makes sense, right? Okay. Is Fongbe. That's cool. I like that. Egu. Thank you for that. Angel. Good to know the book is certified. Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, no, she really immersed herself in it, and she did a good job documenting. And she wasn't she was conscious of her biases in the writing too. So sometimes when you're reading something from, like, white people aren't really like credible sources of information about Africa. Like, that's goofy. But she was able to say, hey, these are my biases. These are the things that I don't understand. These are the things that are different. Like, so she showed awareness of her, but now I was like, okay, then I can navigate this pretty objectively based off of what she's sharing and that kind of thing, right? But the reason I say that white people are not good sources of, one, they're very sentimental, right? They're very sentimental. They'll flip something on its head if it doesn't favor them, like, immediately. And then two, you don't have to know anything about Africa to be considered an educated person in America. And so, or in Europe. So off rip, I'm not listening to anybody from those places on anything concerning Africa, right? And that's where you're gonna hear all this Bantu shit from. So, not saying it's not real. I could be wrong. Would you hit a grill for $500? What does that mean, Dalton? Can you elaborate? You're just migrating up and down. Ije ndị ori. Ndị na-anaghị, ndị na-agaghị, ndị ngaghị riwe, ndị mpụ. Exactly right. But a sị na onye ndị niile nọ n'ụwa na-eme. Nke m si bụ ndị na-eme ya otu a, ịfụ ha otu a ha na-eme ya. You understand? Ịfụ ha otu a ha na-eme ya, otu nọ ndị mgbo ha, ndị iche ha mere ya, otu a ha na-eme ya. So ilekwe ndị Fulani, all ndị iche ha na-eme ihe ha na-eme. You understand? Ilekwe ndị iche anyị, ọ bụ otu anyị na-eme bụ ka ha na-eme. You understand? Anyị bụ ndị obodo, anyị nwere ala, right? Igbo nwere ala, Igbo nwere obodo nke ha. Obodo na ndị mmadụ na-agarị. Haitian voodoo, interesting. I assume there's a deity in Congolese spiritual system. That's dope. Shave it off, Hunk. Your father. See, hey, if you guys want to troll like Rex, CC Rex, that was good. Sitting here saying nonsense. Would you hit a grill for $500? Like, all right, bro. Good job, man. Good job. Am I missing questions, guys? Oh boy. Bandana Wudo. Wudo, are you the one that comes in here and causes trouble? Are you the same Wudo that comes here and causes trouble? Health advice as far as Odinani. Health is wealth. I mean, health. The word health advice. I mean, that's a lot. That's a big subject. So if there's something specific you're pointing to, then cool. But it's a big. That's an entire. It's a lot there, right? Who's the white woman author y'all are talking about? Sabine Gel Blessine. This one. Sabine Gel Blessine. Yeah, she did a good job. This is a really good book. I always recommend it to people. Ancestral DNA has said that Alsa has become Aquifona. Aquifona. Anyway, some kind of funny thing, honey, man. Basara this there. Anyways, come up here. But anyway, here is some funny thing, honey, man, with this Alsa of a thing. So talk about Alsa as the lingua franca of Nigeria. When? For where? Ah, shit. Anyways, a lot of people speak outside now, so I wouldn't be shocked. We heard of the statues of Ikom. Yeah, the Ikom monoliths. They have like insibidi on them and things like that too. Yeah. What's the Igbo word for continent of Africa? I don't know. I don't think there is one, but if there is one, it's not something I've ever encountered, right? I don't know. I don't know what the word for Africa is in Igbo, right? To my knowledge, we're not seafaring people. I think to start naming continents, you'd have to be seafaring, which very few cultures were. I put gold on my teeth to hide the gap. You must be from the South. Lady Judah, where are you from? You must be from the South. No, you need to get gold where the gap shows. Maybe get 2 gold fronts and put them on each. Where are you from? That sounds like that's the most southern solution to the problem I've ever heard in my life. Angel D babe, thank you for the ilu, and you're 100% correct. It is me, Ubulu, your arch enemy. No, you can never be my arch enemy. One day, you can never be my arch enemy. Thoughts on biblical Cain and Abel story being pastoral propaganda against that girl. The more I study, the more I learn, the more I tap in, the more I start seeing a single pattern. If you want to understand the situation in Congo, you can understand it from this narrative as well, right? There's been an ancient conflict between pastoralists and agriculturalists. And they're very distinct people. In Africa, to the point where they look different, right? They look different. And that's just what that is. That's just what that is. So you see that with the Cain and Abel, that story, pastoral. It tells you who's writing the story, right? It tells you that you know how to grow a damn. If you know how to grow something out of the ground, this story is not for you, right? And so they tend to tell history as the history of that everybody's a pastoralist. Everybody's just walking around. You know, they always tell you this thing that like, okay, in order to support that whole migration theory, you have to go off of the West's idea of when agriculture started. Okay, which in their head, I think they say it's like 2,000 or 6,000, 10,000 years ago. And then, of course, it started with them somehow, right? And We in Africa, and they also know that it's been happening in Africa far older than that. It's been well beyond that, right? It's, or am I saying the words right? I think I need to sleep. Agriculture has been in Africa for millennia prior to that era, right? There are agricultural tools that have been found throughout Africa that are 90,000 years old. These are agricultural tools, 90,000 years old, right? And so that whole everybody's walking around so they learn how to farm shit, it doesn't apply over here. That's their history, right? That's their history. You understand? And the people that walk around, they still walk around. The pastoralist cultures are still pastoralists, right? Uh, Western culture is pastoralist, right? It's still pastoralist. That's feudalism. That's what that is. The feudal system. The word feud in feudal means cow. The word capital in capitalism means cow. Okay. The word I'm trying to think of some other ones. Um, even thinking of the term husband, housebound, like a guy trapped to a house, right? Just things like that. There's a whole bunch of them. The term fee is cow. Um, what else? The whole system is based on just cow. That's what it is, right? Um, Nomads moving around in their spiritual a pastor, the pastor of the thing, you know. You'll see in a lot of their spiritual systems, there'll be like a sacred cow, or like the idea that the earth, human beings, or not the earth is the byproduct of a sky god and a cow, right? Wait, what? Yeah, yeah. A sky god and a cow. This idea of a sacred cow mother. In India, they're very blatant. It's loud. It's louder in India, right? You get the sacred cow situation going on over there, tied to the caste system, all that stuff. Um, Not everybody in India was a pastoralist, but the ones that are the Brahmin. I think Brahmin is somehow related to cow, but I'm not sure. Right? I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that one. I could be wrong on that one. You understand? So that whole feudal system, what happens is there are settled people, and I'm just gonna give you guys the shit straight. There's settled people that just live on the land, and there's people that just walk around, and then sometimes those people that walk around just hijack the settled people. And when they hijack the settled people, they set up a system where they're on the top, right? They're up top, and the settled people have to work the field. And in those cultures, working the field is a thing of like lower status. You understand? So like farming is a thing of lower status. Why in uh, like with America, it was the slaves that did the fields, right? Chattel slavery, cattle slaves, cattle, chattel, same thing, right? In that framework, there's the human and there's the cow. If you're not the human, you're the cow. Even if you're a human, you understand. Even if you're a human, I can turn your ass into a cow in my own imagination. I can convince you you're a cow too. I've been doing this cow shit for a long time. It's a whole different fucking way of it. And you're drinking milk, you're becoming lactose tolerant, right? Because cows require a lot of grass and a lot of space. You're constantly moving, you're constantly depleting the places that you're at. You don't really have a relationship with the land. It's just a thing you can use to keep the cows going. You understand? So the cow cultures in Africa, they're still doing that. It's the migratory cultures in Africa are still migratory, right? You'll see them. Their homes will be very simple, something you can pack up and go. Right? Plains Indians, Native Americans. The Plains Indians are a good example too. But that's not everybody's history, right? That's not everybody's history. So, land of milk and honey. Go to heaven, drink the milk and the honey. You know, that kind of thing. So, just some weird patterns I'm seeing, right? A lot of cow business going on. So when they try to say like, "Oh, you guys are bantuing around," you guys are bantuing up and down, and then this one settled here, and that one says, "I don't know. I don't. Maybe we're all bantuing around, and we all decided to settle." But the fact that narrative is super important to people from pastoralist cultures and white South Africans. It tells me there's something going on here, right? Igbo, there's a sacred ram or cow, right? With horn. Let me get that to that. Everything's sacred, right? But the ram is an animal form of the Ikenga, which is a personal form of Amadioha, right? That kind of thing. So, but everything's sacred. Bull market, you know. Let me watch this. I'm going to look up all of the economic terms that are based on the word cow, because this list had me scratching my head. And I was like, okay, yeah, there's a pattern here. All right. So hold on. Let me find all the little cow phrases, right? Okay. Economic terms. Hold on. All right, Chat GPT, let's see what's up. Economic terms rooted in or related to cow/cattle. Let's go. Okay, so saying capital, chattel, I can't even read. I don't know why I'm trying to pecuniary, which comes from the Latin word pecunia, which is money, but which then comes from pecus, which is cattle. Of course, bull market, bear market, cattle futures. No, it's just a normal cow thing, isn't it? No. Hold on. No. In English. In English language. ChatGPT, bro. This is why everybody's going to deep seek. All right, so it's giving me the obvious ones: cattle, capital, chattel. No, yeah, that's why everybody's going to deep seek. So ChatGPT is not giving me a good list, but I'll share them throughout time. What about feudalism? Feudal. Mumu. Manner. All right, so this one's tweaking out. But yeah, it's all there. It's all there. They said that Portuguese gave Igbo light skin. Can't with these lies. Ah, shit. Yeah. I'm new to this. I just joined your Patreon. Oh, welcome. But I need to create a space now on my phone to download the app. Can the channel be accessed on a laptop as well? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for joining, okay, Chuku. Igbo, there's sacred ram and cow. Well, everything's sacred. Also, check out Royal British Army, Sierra Leone, settled Trinidad. Hippos or giraffes. It's the largest aggressive mammal. No, a hippo will kill you. A hippo would knock you out. Okay. Some sort of reptilian shapeshifters. Egypt. Yeah, Egyptian. They were on some cow activity. Coming across your channel, how did you gain so much knowledge on Odinala and Omenala? I'm happy when I see young people talk with authority about us and who we are. Ebby, thank you for joining. So I've experienced a lot of these things on a casual level just from my just living. My family isn't really that Christian and stuff, so a lot of our traditions are pretty well intact. or they're not shy about it. Like, when it's time to do the thing, we do it, right? But then, as of like maybe 6 years ago, I kind of committed my, or not kind of, I committed myself to researching. So I first started by reading. I got every book you can imagine. Um, Here, let me give you some recommendations. Uh, There's another one. Probably got some on the floor too, and I've been recommending this Jeline Blisse, whatever her name is, book up and down. So, but here's a few. So I've just got every book imaginable. After God is Debia is great. The folk tales are super important too. This is a good one. Though I think it's kind of wordy for kids, but that's our people. Um, where else? Where else? Where else? Agun, Igbo deity, that kind of thing. But the book that really got me to cross the Rubicon, or got me across, was Leopards of the Magic Dawn is amazing. Leopards of the Magical Dawn is amazing. I would rank Leopards of the Magical Dawn above After God is Debia, right? But After God is Debia is more digestible because it's not as dense. It's not as dense. But so, and then articles. I've been researching this kind of my whole life, but I really went in the past like 6 7 years, and after a while, I realized that it had nothing to do with reading. So reading will get you to a point, then there's something you can tap into that makes it all evident and puts it all right there in your face. And you come to find that it's more of a remembering thing than a learning thing. But I started by reading. I started by experiencing it, and then I've been studying history my whole life. And then after a while, I started reading the books as far as Odinala goes. So I keep all of my research stuff on Patreon. So I have like there's like 300 different things in there. But the book I'm talking about, after Leopards of the Magical Dawn, I think it's a great, if you're interested in reading something, it's in there. So if you join patreon.com/the medicine shell, go to the recommended folder in the Dropbox, go to the recommended folder, and I have a list of like what books you should read, or what articles books you should read, and they're all in that folder. Everything I recommend is in that folder. So you get all those with it. Just join Patreon, you'll get it. And then of course talking to people was huge. So once I was serious about learning, I started having conversations with friends who were more knowledgeable than I was. Um, so my friend Nze, who was also a DBA, my friend Onyemobi, who's in Ekbe, we had really good conversations. They introduced me to things I'd never heard of before and so forth. Then I started talking to my dad. My dad was way more, I mean, I already knew he was knowledgeable, but he was even more knowledgeable than I assumed. Um, I have an uncle who's kind of like our family historian, our family griot. He taught me a lot. And then I have an elder who's the head of our Nze society in my village, who we've had really good conversations. He doesn't understand what I'm doing. He's like 90 some years old. He doesn't understand what I'm doing. And so I really have to shake the answers out of him. But once they come out, they're always like mind blowing historical answers, like history changing answers. So I did them. All right. Thanks for asking. Eagles won. Good, good, good. Their Moo song of the evening, Doja Cat, bitch, I'm a cow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cyber, I see you're back in full swing. I'll be listening to your teachings, but I would need materials that help, and they will. Yeah, Ebby, whenever you're ready. Like I said, we have the whole library on Patreon. If that's not what you're trying to do, then I've given some book recommendations. You can go just find in your own time. Whatever you need, I'm here. What is going on? Okay, you guys are fighting. Okay. I was like, what? All right. We'll certainly keep that in mind. Free spirit. Okay, all right. That's not me. Yeah, we eat cow. Iffy Igbo is more respected, but not. Yeah. What the hell? How can one get a hold of? So after God is Debia was sent to me as a gift. It was sent to me as a gift, and I'm really working on making the book available at an affordable price. Um, but I've established communication with the family, but then that's kind of slowed down. So I'm still working on it. So I'll keep you posted. Cosign on leopards. Yeah, no, leopards is. But yeah, having conversations with DBS and Nzes, both of that really opened my mind up. And then finally, I tapped into what they were tapped into, and I was like, oh, okay, I see where it's coming from. Funny enough, Ubulu says, don't listen to me. It's all about health. Ubulu, what's going on, man? If you're interested in health as far as Odinani goes, yeah, this is another great one. It's called Healing Insanity. This one is a damn masterpiece. I need to put it up here and give it its respect. This book is a masterpiece. It is written by Dr. Dibia Patrick Iroebu. Back here. And he goes into ancestral psychiatry, but it's a really good window into being a Dibia, how to be a Dibia, how it works. And then After God is Dibia is, by the way, specifically about being a Dibia. And the Dibia world and the Dibia life and that kind of thing. But it also goes into that one's a really good one. But I wouldn't start with this. I wouldn't start with this. This book assumes you have a foundation and just goes. All right. I wouldn't start with that. If you're a patron, just go to Patreon, go to the recommended folder, and I give you I order the books on the side as an order, and it goes from least complicated to most complicated or whatever. Well, after a point, then it becomes more topic based, right? So I think after Lepers of the Magic Dawn, it's topic based and that kind of thing. Right? Boot the troll, Angelica. Wait, what? What's going on? Nice. It's entertaining. Shit. Woo, bro, you're so negative, man. Come on, chill out. Woo, are you still making music? Okay. Nibo si ngwere hapụ aja aka akpara. Yes, that it was when the lizard leaves their spot, a hand will catch it. When the lizard leaves, but I've heard it as when the lizard leaves the tree. Ngwere hapu osisi is how I've heard it. When the lizard leaves the tree, a hand will catch it. So I don't know. I didn't mind. Cool. Hey guys, I'm gonna run. I'm getting really sleepy. So it's been a great discussion. I'm going to be signing up for the traditional medicine classes starting pretty soon. I'm gonna make you guys aware once that happens. So keep coming to the lives, or get notifications on Patreon, patreon.com/the medicine show. If you have not joined the Patreon, join. I think we just had one of the best group discussions ever. And the video, I don't know how I'm gonna get the video up because my laptop broke, and the laptop I have to like download it and put it on there, but I'll find out something. I'll find a way. But either way, we'll get the replay of that video up for those who missed it. Yeah, you can use Ahwaja or OCC. Yeah, I'll do my Angel Babe. Yeah. The meaning remains. Angel Babe, thank you for that. Thank you guys for being here. I really love the fact that I see a lot of familiar names in here, and I like the fact that I'm seeing new people. So, as always, uno gade, uno geto, gobala, uno tiriaka, ho gade no wa. Gade otu aneke, no rie, na afo, na ngwo. You say, all right, she can't, guys.